Have you ever pondered over how India and Canada, two countries with starkly different cultural, political, and economic landscapes, compare on various fronts? A fascinating question indeed, and one that we'll be exploring in this video. We'll delve into the political systems of these two nations, examining the power dynamics and key players. We'll then navigate the intricate economic structures, specifically focusing on the aviation industry, a sector that has faced significant turbulence due to the ongoing pandemic. Our exploration will also touch upon the healthcare systems, a vital element that shapes the lives of citizens in any country. In particular, we'll analyze the unique challenges and innovative solutions that have emerged in both India and Canada in the face of a global health crisis. This isn't just a comparison of two countries. It's a deep dive into the diverse solutions that different nations concoct when faced with similar global challenges, and the lessons that can be learned from each. So, without further ado, let's dive into the heart of the discussion. Both India and Canada are democratic nations, but the way democracy functions in each country is quite different. Let's dive into their political systems. On one hand, we have India, a federal parliamentary democratic republic. This means that the President of India is the head of state and the Prime Minister is the head of government. It's a system that allows for a fair representation of the diverse population across various states. However, it's not without its challenges. The sheer size and diversity of India can sometimes lead to political instability and corruption. On the other hand, we have Canada, a federal parliamentary constitutional monarchy. Now, this might sound a bit complex, but it essentially means that the Queen of England is the official head of state, represented locally by the Governor-General, while the Prime Minister is the head of government. This system provides a sense of stability with its long-standing traditions and constitutional safeguards. But it's not without criticism either. Some argue that the monarchy is outdated and that the system lacks a direct representation of the people in selecting the head of state. Then there's the topic of political corruption. In India, it's a significant issue, often making headlines. The country grapples with bribery, nepotism, and embezzlement, which can hinder progress. But don't think Canada is exempt from this. While it may not be as prominent, it does exist, often in the form of political favoritism and questionable campaign financing. Lastly, let's talk about representation. India's vast population and diverse demographics are represented through a multi-party system. This ensures a wide range of perspectives in government, but can also lead to fragmented politics. Canada, with its two dominant parties, experiences more political stability, but at the cost of potentially limiting diverse viewpoints. As we can see, both systems have their own merits and demerits, reflecting the unique context of each country. Let's now shift our focus to the economic structures of India and Canada, with a special emphasis on their aviation industries. India, with its burgeoning population and growing economic wealth, presents a complex tapestry of opportunities and challenges. Its aviation industry is no exception. With the pandemic acting as a catalyst, the sector has seen rapid changes. Airlines like Indigo, SpiceJet, and AirAsia India, with their diverse business models, dominate the scene. The surging demand for air travel from India's young, middle-class demographic is met with a lag in airline offerings, particularly when compared to countries like China. However, India is rising to meet the challenge, with plans for more airports, aircraft, and infrastructure in the pipeline. In contrast, Canada's economy is more mature and stable, with a focus on service sectors like healthcare and education. Its aviation industry, while smaller in scale than India's, is well established and efficient. However, it too has faced its share of challenges due to the pandemic. Canadian airlines have had to reassess their business models and manage their resources efficiently to survive. When we compare the two, we see that while India's aviation industry is characterized by growth and dynamism, Canada's is defined by stability and efficiency. Both have been tested by the pandemic, but have also shown resilience and adaptability. In India, successful airlines have focused on managing costs and productivity and dynamically deploying capacity, while less successful ones have focused on market share at the expense of profitability. The pandemic has changed the competitive landscape among airlines, and those that manage their cash and capacity efficiently are emerging the strongest. In Canada, airlines have had to become more focused and efficient in the face of the pandemic. They have had to reassess their business models and manage their cash and capacity efficiently. Clearly, the aviation industry in both countries has been through a lot and continues to adapt to the new realities. Healthcare is a critical aspect of any country's infrastructure. Let's examine how India and Canada fare on this front. In India, the healthcare system has been put to the test by the COVID-19 pandemic. The size of the population, combined with the varying levels of infrastructure across the country, has made managing the health crisis a monumental task. On the other hand, the pandemic has also accelerated changes in the healthcare sector, with a greater emphasis on telemedicine and digital health technologies. However, the Indian healthcare system faces a significant challenge when it comes to senior care. As the population continues to age, the demand for elderly care services is expected to rise. Yet, there is still a need to develop more robust and effective systems to cater to this demographic, especially in rural areas where access to healthcare services can be limited. On the flip side, we have Canada. A country with a universal healthcare system, Canada prides itself on providing care to all its citizens, irrespective of their income levels. However, the system is not without its challenges. The nation's aging population is putting a strain on the healthcare structure, leading to longer wait times and a shortage of care facilities for the elderly. To address this, innovative companies like ConsidraCare are stepping in to offer new structures of care. They're focusing on remote healthcare and improved communication between caregivers and healthcare professionals. This is a promising development, but it also highlights a significant issue: the need for more funding and resources to ensure quality care for Canada's aging population. The COVID-19 pandemic has also underscored the importance of empathy and quality of care in the Canadian healthcare system. It's a reminder that while the system may be universal, there's still work to be done to ensure that every patient, especially the most vulnerable, receives the care they deserve. So, when we compare the healthcare systems of India and Canada, we see two countries grappling with the same issues: an aging population, the need for improved senior care, and the impact of a global pandemic. However, their strategies and responses are shaped by their unique circumstances and resources. While both countries have faced challenges in their healthcare sector, their responses have been markedly different. So, after a thorough examination of India and Canada's political systems, economic structures, aviation industry, and healthcare systems, what conclusions can we draw? Let's recap. Politically, India and Canada operate under different systems, with Canada's parliamentary democracy contrasting with India's federal structure. Economically, both countries have shown resilience, with India's aviation industry adapting rapidly to the pandemic's challenges, and Canada focusing on innovative solutions for an aging population. In terms of aviation, India has a growing demand for air travel due to its young and economically advancing population. Conversely, Canada's aviation industry, while mature, continues to innovate and adapt to changing global circumstances. In healthcare, Canada's emphasis on senior care and India's ongoing efforts to improve their healthcare infrastructure underscore the significance of this sector in both nations. The pandemic has highlighted the need for empathy, quality, and innovation in healthcare delivery. The differences between India and Canada are not just about contrasting systems and structures. They're about diverse histories, cultures, and socio-economic contexts that shape the way these nations respond to global challenges. But amidst these differences, there's a common thread. Both countries are striving to improve the quality of life for their citizens, whether it's through economic growth, healthcare innovation, or sustainable aviation. Ultimately, while India and Canada may appear different on the surface, they both strive for the same goal: a better life for their citizens.